Eat Fruit Media is a mission-based organization built on helping individuals address personal situations while fostering unity and improvement. Hey everybody, first things first, congratulations, you made it through week 2. Now, that may not sound like a major accomplishment until you realize that week 2 was called search. Searching is harder than people think. People assume searching means finding. It doesn't. Sometimes searching means looking under the couch cushions of your own mind and discovering things you forgot were there. Sometimes searching means asking questions you avoided asking. Sometimes means realizing you've been carrying around an old story about yourself that expired 3 years ago, but you're still trying to use it like a coupon. Here's the funny thing. We've been searching for ourselves for 2 weeks, which raises an obvious question. Where exactly were we hiding? It's not like you misplaced yourself in the couch cushions. You're the one thing you've been carrying around this whole time. But seriously, the deeper truth is that most people aren't really trying to find themselves. They're trying to notice themselves. They're trying to hear themselves underneath the noise, expectations, habits, distractions, and obligations that accumulate over time. This week, you've traveled through curiosity, purpose, intention, discipline, rhythm, patience, and momentum. And what a collection of strange little traveling companions that is. Whew. Curiosity says, let's see what's over there. Purpose says, here's why we're going. Intention says, let's go there on purpose. Discipline says, keep walking. Rhythm says, find a pace. Patience, not everything happens today. And momentum says, look at that. We're moving. It's almost like a road trip designed by committee. But you did it. You kept showing up. And that's important because purpose rarely arrives wearing a spotlight and carrying a name tag. Most of the time, purpose sneaks up quietly while you're doing ordinary things consistently. We love dramatic transformations. We want trumpets. We want fireworks. We want a movie montage. I'll take one. But most growth looks suspiciously like doing the same thing over and over until one day you realize you're not the same person anymore. And that's what we've been practicing. Not perfection, participation. Not performance, presence. Not viral, valid. And I, for one, am glad you're all here. And with that, I would like to bring up Jason.
Hi, I appreciate that, Tom. And Tom, you've been doing a great job with the daily doses and, helping put all this together. And I just want to say good job to everyone so far. You should if you've been really applying, watching the videos, if you've been applying it, like Tom said, it might not seem like you're making a huge splash because there's a lot of things out there that, kind of highlight the big things to highlight, when people do these amazing, huge, massive things. But most people don't highlight the little things that happen in people's lives. And you start to notice after, 7, 14, 21 days. And a lot of sitting and searching can really pull up some things in your life. And I love having a group like this. I want to encourage everyone to keep using the text message. We're a small group. You can trust the people inside this group. I encourage you to use those text messages. And then I also encourage you, if you ever feel like reaching out to Tom or I, go for it. I love, communications. Dave and I have been talking a lot this week. And I know Cam couldn't be on tonight because he's going to be in Chicago, but he wants to. He's actually texting me right now. He's in. Like, he loves what we're doing. He wishes he's in a traffic jam or he'd be on. But I want a lot of this is kind of like looking at like almost like we're adults becoming kids again. In a way, we're learning to become kids again because kids just didn't seem to stress about every little thing in life. Remember when you used to go outside, especially if you were in the, a little older than I know Eli, you're a kid. My son's Eli's in there. He just became an adult a couple weeks ago. He just became 18. So maybe don't become a kid. Maybe this talk's not for you, Eli. Everyone else become a kid again.
No.
But it kind of is like becoming a kid again, finding that childlike center in your heart where you just wanted to kind of play a little bit. And it's funny because the more Tom and I are doing this, it's like we're just encouraging each other to play. We're just going out, having a lot of fun and playing. And on Monday, we're going to go to a cherry orchard. We're going to pick
Tuesday.
some cherries. Was it?
Or no, it is Monday. You're correct.
It's
Monday.
Monday. We're going to go Tuesday.
We said Tuesday in case it rained on Monday.
Yeah. We're just having fun. We're just we don't really have a plan. We're not getting together and what are the 14 points we're going to hit. I know that Tom and I are really in the game together, guys. And when we get out there, it's like I can't wait to express the stuff that we're learning. And I just want to do that with this group. I hope you guys are finding that this is a really safe, fun place to do this, And Tom, you're really killing it, and I appreciate everyone and all the courage it takes to do, those little steps to sit and to search. It takes a lot of courage because when you're sitting, stuff comes up, and the first thing that a lot of people want to do when that stuff comes up is they want to run away, and you're not. You're sitting here after week 2 of searching. That's a big deal.
Thanks, Jason. Really appreciate that. Appreciate the time that you put in to all of us.
Okay, guys,
So
go if you want. If you're ready, it's up to you. You guys are good there. Oh, sorry. My mic's still on.
So we started a new portion here in the rec room last week. We call it the produce aisle. And the idea behind it is everybody's got something to share at some point if they want. And this is where, if you've got something you'd like to share, we would love to have you jump in. Definitely. And as I said last week, feel free to interrupt me if you want to speak, and we'll go from there. And I'd have to say, my little bite here in the aisle this week is doing these daily doses. I am getting to pay attention to how fickle platforms like YouTube are when it comes to copyrights. They'll approve your product to go in their platform, and then 2 days later they block it, block it globally, saying there's something violating a copyright. Most of what they've been blocking is just to plug their editing software, but I also think because I started into specifically naming some specific characters in a few of them, it's getting hit. So, Marty, I see that hand raised. I appreciate that. Go ahead and take over.
I have really been working on my confidence and building it back up. And I'm finding time to get over worries that I have. And I am finding like I'm doodling, I'm getting back into just picking up my pencil and finding a scrap piece of paper and doodling. I may be writing a little note or whatever, and taking time to uh, get past the fear of wasting money on creating art, because sometimes you've got to be able to bet on yourself even when you're learning. And I have like a little issue with betting on myself. And I think it's a good place to start to just understand that I am buying experience either way, and failure is a part of that. And I got into a little state of depression and was noticing some of my hair. I was having some hair issues. And I do a lot of self-care on my hair because it's really fine and thin. And I just decided that I was going to get it cut, and I got it cut today. So it's pretty new, and I feel really sassy. I mean, it makes me feel like a little girl again with a little short haircut. So um, finding my whimsy, even if I'm not very fond of where it's at. I was up until like 2:30 last night, just like really worried about a short haircut, and I kind of like it.
That
So I'm striving to find the whimsy and draw correlation to how I looked when I was a little girl. And I love that. So just trying to find the light in every little dark situation that kind of has me depressed. And I'm choosing to find happiness in spots that have me a wee just like what the heck. So
great to great when you have that opportunity and you make that choice. Sometimes that choice isn't easy, but we're here whenever you need us. So no
I'm
man,
doing great. I
good.
get to speak with Casey quite often, and you and Jason, and I love our community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been fun watching Casey's journey this week, getting sharing and getting outdoors and having a good time. And yeah, if
Don't
anybody,
speak for me. I'm
oh,
supposed to be doing that.
I, I
No,
was,
I
I
love it.
was
I
praising
appreciate
you.
it.
I
I
was praising
appreciate it. I'm picking on you. Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Well, it's my turn now. And yes, you are correct. I have been because previously I was actually isolating myself and my daughter inside for months and not actually stepping outside other than needing to go somewhere or quickly going to the store for a quick walk. But now I chose to step outside, and I have for the part in the background. But I've been choosing the past 3 days to step outside, even if it's in my backyard or in my front yard, and just soak it up. I've been doing it off and on all day for the past 3 days. And I'm going to continue to do so. And I'm going to be studying different herbs and insects and bugs and just all kinds of different things that nature brings, our critter friends, everything like that. Like I've always been fascinated by them. And I just never really got to know them as much as I want to. And I've been sharing some videos and pictures on the fact that I have been seeing more of them. And I actually saw a deer yesterday, and they are pretty common. They are, but come on, wildlife, when you actually see them, even by yourself, it is magical to me. But, but yeah, I'm back, and I do feel childlike and playful when I'm outside, and that's what it's all about. Because the sun and the breeze and just nature in general, it's healing, and you need to be a part of it. And I am eating mandarin oranges and dark cherries right now. It's yummy. Thank you
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the beauty of curiosity. Gets us out of those zones when that moment hits just right. Yeah, I've been enjoying cherries this week too, and I look forward to loading myself up on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely see how that goes. And anyone else that wishes to share anything, feel free to just go ahead and jump right in and kick me off the pedestal. It's not lonely at the top, trust me. I don't even consider myself to be at the top. I just happen to be in control of the record button tonight. So, um, but we're really glad to have everybody here, and thank you everyone that's chosen to share. Um, there's a really important thing about these get-togethers in the rec room is um, that even though we're all walking different paths, we do have the tendency to ask a lot of the same questions. Um, we might enjoy different fruits, our specific stories are different, even some of the experiences are, but this journey, we're walking this together. And as long as you choose to, we will be right here, ready to walk as you really need. and as we need, because this is just as big a journey for me. Um, but this is going to bring us into week 3, where we're sharing. We're going to be going from a lot of the inner searching, and we've been transitioning this week, starting to move that inner journey into an outer um, expression, if you will. The whole idea of being valid over viral. Now we're going to be looking to test our voices in whatever manner we feel those voices need to sound, in whatever platforms, whatever areas. It's going to be completely up to you. This isn't a matter of, okay, we're getting ourselves out onto social media platforms and wherever. It's wherever you want your presence to be felt. That's what you're working on, and sometimes that presence is going to be right there with you. It's your space. You know, each one of us is going at our own pace. We're being consistent and moving on from there. And then what I found, what works for me is, I think this is the third or fourth round I've gone through, and I've picked up just a little bit more each time. Um, it's one of those things I'm finding Jason doesn't have to poke and prod me nearly as much. Um, so a couple before we go ahead and close out for this week, a couple of items. Yeah, Jason plugged. We'll be running YouTube live again Monday morning, but next Friday, the day after our next rec room, we'll be here 7:30 next Thursday for the rec room. Friday next week, Jason can correct me on the time. I believe it's 6 p.m. because Slava is 5 hours ahead of us, so it's going to be a late night for Slava. But we will have Slava and Najike in a special um, a special Zoom situation where she will be sharing her life's journey into self-discovery and coaching, and it's going to be a very powerful Zoom meeting. Just the brief time we got to meet with her and chat with her was
She is such a beautiful person, and the way that she articulated the different traumas that she had lived through, and then how she lives her life now, and the deliveries that she's had, and how that changed her life, and where she is now. She's a very cool, she's a cool cat. She's a good kid.
a very strong and positive,
Very positive,
aura
strong
about her.
female.
And she does spend her time coaching. So I believe that will be 6 p.m. Eastern time, a week from tomorrow, July 3rd, going into our holiday weekend. Um, and it's definitely going to be worthwhile. We will make sure that if you haven't registered for it, we'll make sure we share the link with the group over the week so you get an opportunity to get in. But okay, so we've been through our first 2 weeks of sit and search, and now we're getting into share. Um, the fact that, yeah, we do like to share a lot of things, pictures of dinner, cat videos. Um, I used to be a violator of sharing opinions that nobody really cared for, and I'm very, very content keeping those to myself now. Fortunately, I'm not a judgmental person, so my opinions tend to be judged more than my opinions are judging. Um, but here in the rec room, we love when people share things they've learned, people they've met, corners they've turned. But going into week 3, we're not broadcasting. It's all about connecting. And again, plugging valid over viral. The sharing that we're doing isn't about getting attention. It's about creating that connection with yourself, with others, the world around you. Um, Being valid means you're offering something real and sincere. And that is, it could just be as simple as a kind word, a lesson learned. We all have stories to share, or just a moment of honesty. The beautiful thing is that every person here has something worth sharing. And it's not because you're famous, not because you're an expert, not because we've got everything figured out, but it's because you're walking a journey. You're walking your own journey. And there are steps on those journeys that are unique to you. And but even though that's unique to you, there are others out there that might be facing some of the same things or need a new perspective on something. And you might hold the key to unlocking that for them. But it's one of the biggest reasons why Jason believes in this group and everybody that's here. Growth gets stronger when it's shared. You know, we step outside of those familiar zones and put ourselves out there, and immediately we're always worried about being judged. Somebody isn't gonna take what we have to say the way we want it, or we may decide that it's easier to just sit back and stay quiet because of the unknown. But this week, we're going to encourage each one of us, to challenge that just a little bit. Maybe even if it's just taking sticking your toe outside that circle, however it works. But hope travels. It really does. So we believe what you've discovered during Sit and Search could very well be a gift to use during Share. So next week, we're going to be exploring connection, contribution, and the simple but powerful act of continuing to show up for one another. Until then, keep being curious, keep moving with purpose, keep choosing the valid over viral, and if all else fails, eat fruit. Look forward to seeing you in our group texts, and we will see you all next week. Thank you very much.
See you, Tom. That was awesome.
Have a good week, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this Eat Fruit Media production. If you are on a platform that allows and you resonate with the message, please like, share, and follow, or even subscribe. We hope that those that have been listening and watching are doing their best to live their life to their fullest purpose. Eat fruit.